Hey there, this is Dr. Evan Osar with the Institute for Integrative Health and Fitness Education.
And Janice Maddock here today to share with you the release of our brand new product, Complete Knee, Ankle, and Foot Conditioning 2.0.
And we're super excited about this product because in our office, even though people know me as a chiropractor, back doctor, so many individuals come in, probably just as equal number of individuals are coming in with knee and ankle and foot issues that aren't getting relief from physical therapy, from other traditional sort of training approaches. And you actually have personal experience with this in your own family. A couple members of her family are dealing with these chronic knee issues and ankle and foot issues.
Right, and this week and the last week, Evan, you really spoke a lot about in our newsletters about my mom going through her complete knee replacement, which was a really big deal because today she finds herself in her 70s, which her previous knee surgery was over 12 years ago. So she's aged a bit, she's developed some not great habits, and as many of you know, when somebody has a joint replacement, oftentimes they're taken to the end point, the farthest point the doctor they can go possibly before they'll even do the joint replacement, because they want them to get as much life out of their natural joint before they replace that joint. And so she was at her end point. She was having to walk with a walker by the time she went in. She'd actually developed plantar fasciitis on her other foot because she was bearing so much weight into that other foot. So it was really time for her to have this replacement. And she was apprehensive, and I know you spoke a little bit about this, partly because she was told that she was going to have to possibly leave the hospital within 24 hours of her surgery, and that's how they prepared her. They gave her no other option. They said, we'll hope for the best, that possibly you can stay longer, but we really need to prepare you for the fact that you might have to go home within 24 hours of that. And it's major surgery. So she went in, and that's a really important thing to understand. She went in mentally nervous. She was really, really nervous. That's what she said. She's like, I hate the fact that it's so unknown what's going to happen to me. So she didn't get to really go in with a great state of mind, even going into the surgery. However, my mom had a long history of knee injury. She actually had her first knee injury back when she was 16 years old. And like you said, my mom's in her 70s, so that was quite a while ago. And they didn't have the type of procedures they have now. They didn't have better fixes. They didn't really do anything for her the first time she had it. So she suffered for a really long time. The other example is right now you're working with my godson, Addison, who we're trying to coax his mom to come on tomorrow and talk to you about his experience with this information, her experience working with her son with you, because he actually comes down from Wisconsin. They drive 3.5 hours to come and see you. And the reason that they keep coming back is because he's had excellent results. He was told that he was likely going to have surgery on his heel from, what is that called?
Hellbangers?
Hagelin's
deformity, yeah.
Hagelin's deformity, which is actually deformed like a calcified, right? Like a bony prominence. Callus on his heel, which was stopping him from playing sports. He was a great athlete. He actually lettered in soccer his freshman year. And here he was, this kid, right after that, trying out for basketball, and actually had to quit because he was in so much pain from that. He was actually not even able to wear a shoe. So now he's a freshman in high school. He can't wear a shoe. People are wondering what's wrong with this kid. So it was really, really a hard thing for him to be going through, to not be able to play sports that he loved. He's an excellent athlete. And the only thing they gave him as an option was potentially surgery, which, as we know, if you're going to have a surgery in your heel or your ankle, your Achilles tendon is right there. It could have ruined his opportunity to go further in sports. So that would have been very unfortunate. But he's having great results with the work that you're doing with him, which is awesome. And that's why they keep coming back, because the deformity's gone down by 50%. He's wearing shoes, and he gets to play golf, which he's super excited about, which is a step forward. And I know that when he comes, you're gonna look to get him to start running when he comes tomorrow.
And the cool thing about this process that we took Addison through, that we take all our patients and clients through, obviously he's 16 years of age, and his mom was on top of him, Kristen was on top of him to make sure he did his exercises. We literally saw him, we've seen him, because he lives in Wisconsin, we've seen him 3 times. This will be his 4th visit. So it's really an incredible testament to this information, that when you apply the information, if you understand some fundamental concepts and principles that we'll share with you in Complete Knee and Ankle and Foot Conditioning 2.0, you'll be able to assess your clients. You'll be able to use the information, apply the information, and your cousin, Kristen, just made sure that he was doing his exercises the way we taught him. We recorded everything on his phone, and it basically took him through the process that we share in the Complete Knee and Ankle and Foot Conditioning program. And like I said, 3 visits. He'll come back tomorrow for his 4th visit, and we're looking to get him back to running. And this is somebody who hasn't run in over a year. And hopefully Kristen will be on, not hopefully, she'll be on tomorrow. We'll talk to her about, she had so much advice from the orthopedic surgeon to have surgery, physical therapy, didn't really give him a whole lot of options and or relief. Other parents, obviously, they're chipping in. Hey, just work through it. You'll just get through it like we did when we were kids. But again, he had to walk around without a shoe on, sandals in the middle of winter in Wisconsin. You understand what it's like in the middle of winter because of that deformity in his heel and how much pain he was experiencing. And almost completely dropped the arch in his foot because of how much pain he was in and how he had to compensate around that side. Even when we looked at him over Christmas, just real briefly, we looked at his squat and his single leg stance pattern, a couple of assessments that I put right into your bonus section when you enroll in this program. And we saw like he's just not loading properly through his leg, through his knee, through his ankle and foot complex. So we just took some of these simple concepts, the concepts that I share with you in this program, that we share with you in this program, and very rapidly he started to see improvement. Now, some of your older clients, it may take a little longer because they've had more years of compensation. They've had more years of walking around with osteoarthritic knees or ankle and feet issues or bunions and or plantar fascia type issues. So like your mother, it's gonna take a lot longer in her process, in her recovery. But we'll take her through that exact same process when she's left her initial physical therapy. Because the other thing we talk a lot about, and you can speak to this, is the term that we've heard at a medical fitness conference we presented out a couple weeks ago, and the orthopedic surgeon there was talking about incomplete rehab syndrome.
Right, of course. So my mom luckily got to actually stay in rehab, and she won't be discharged until next week sometime, Monday. So she's actually had over a week of physical therapy, inpatient physical therapy, which has been awesome for her because of the anxiety she was having and because her house just wasn't in a right place for somebody coming home with a complete knee. So she'll start doing the steps and things like that this week. My dad will start working with her, which is really important as well, that she has somebody at home to help her. But the important thing is that she's having physical therapy, we'll say once a day now for a couple weeks. She'll go to outpatient physical therapy. But she has, as many of you know when you work with your clients, they have 23 more hours of the day that they're gonna be doing whatever it is that they do. And so now we're talking about major surgery. Is she gonna do it as much as she should? I'd like to say yes, but it's human nature. It hurts, I'm tired, I don't wanna do it, I feel better, I don't need to do it anymore. Those are the things that run through people's heads, those two things. It hurts, I don't wanna do it, or I feel better, I don't need to do it anymore, right? And so for her, ideally, everybody needs probably more than 1 hour of physical therapy a day or more than one time a day of physical therapy. And we even see that with our own clients too. We'd love for them to come back more often just because it just makes it easier if somebody's there to help you and give you the cues that you need.
However, the reality is many of our clients either can't afford it, don't have the time, resources, or just can't get to physical therapy more. And the other challenge that we're having in our industry is now insurance companies are really cutting back on rehab. And that's where this incomplete rehab syndrome is really coming from, is individuals are being released from physical therapy before they've fully recovered. Because what insurance companies are looking at is basically just, can you do your functional activities? Can you get up the stairs? Can you wash yourself? Can you feed yourself? If yes, it doesn't matter whether you still have pain, if you still have tightness, if you still have limitations in function like many of our clients do. For example, I just saw a brand new patient last week, and I saw her again 2 days ago. Linda she just retired, beautiful lady, wonderful individual. She just retired. She's got a brand new grandchild on the way. She loves walking. She loves traveling now that she's retired. However, she broke her ankle 3 years ago, just simply 3 years ago. The surgeon had to put screws and plates in. She went through 8 weeks of physical therapy, so you figure 2 to 3 times a week for 8 weeks. And then the orthopedic surgeon said, you're the best that you're going to be at this point. And she's like, I still wasn't able to move my ankle properly. I still couldn't walk and bear weight properly. She used to love to walk 10 to 15,000 steps. Now she can't even get 7,000 steps without having serious ankle pain. She went back to the same orthopedic surgeon. He's like, basically, we're gonna need to fuse your ankle or give you an ankle joint replacement. You'll come back and see me when you're in even more pain. That's not great options. And unfortunately, when we think about professional athletes, do they get 8 weeks of rehab? No, they go every single day, multiple times a day, for months and months and months after major surgery. However, we want our general population, people that aren't as well conditioned, that aren't at their ideal weight, that don't have the same recuperation or putting the same time and attention in, however, still want and need to get better. Yep. We want them to somehow miraculously get better in a few weeks or a few physical therapy sessions. So that's why this information is so important for health and fitness professionals just like yourself, because these people, these individuals that are suffering, that are experiencing chronic tightness, discomfort, osteoarthritic changes, need someone to turn to, so they're turning to health and fitness professionals to help them get to the next level, to accomplish those things that they need to, want to, and ultimately love to do.
Right. So, well, along with just the rehab process, and a lot of people might say, well, I'm a fitness person, I'm not allowed to do rehab. And the reality is you're teaching exercise, and that's what you do. It's, are you teaching the right exercise for the right person at the right time, where they're at when they come to you? So that's why this information becomes so important, because oftentimes the cues we've learned 20 years ago, 25 years ago are still being used today, and we can see that a lot of that stuff is a direct contribution to what we're seeing with our clients who are facing osteoarthritic changes, who are looking to have surgery, who are in chronic tightness and pain. And luckily, as a fitness professional, oftentimes you see them more. If you're a group instructor, you might see them 3-5 times a week in your classes. If you're a personal trainer, you might have somebody who comes in to see you 3 or 5 times a week. So you do have the opportunity to really give them a good intervention and help them just by doing a quick assessments, which is something actually Evan put together for this new product. Is just 5 quick, simple, easy assessments that you can utilize in each and every session to see your client's progress, so they can see their progress, which is even most important, that they actually see and feel the progress in their own body. So you can quickly assess them, and you can change the exercises just a little bit. Sometimes it's just the cue you're giving them will make a mental connection for them to change how they start to feel, and even more importantly, move in their body every single day.
That's a great point, because we're actually up here in St. Cloud, Minnesota, working with our friends and colleagues, J.R. Burgess and his team over at Rejuve Medical Health and Fitness. And it's really the future of healthcare, the way we see it, is what they've done is they've combined regenerative medicine, so the stem cell, PRP, things like that, the nutrition component with medical fitness to really help hone in and enhance the effects of the regenerative therapies that the doctors are doing. And we were taking his fitness professionals, his medical fitness professionals, through a 2-hour workshop yesterday. And one of the young girls, young ladies in the group, we were showing her one of our go-to corrective exercise patterns that we put and include in this program, the step-out pattern. And again, this is a young, healthy fitness professional. However, she says, I have osteoarthritic knees on both sides, and this exercise hurts my knees. We made a simple adjustment. We just basically taught her how to get aligned properly through her thoracopelvic cylinder, the thorax over top her pelvis, to suspend, and then to get and really achieve just a slight amount of more anterior pelvic rotation, because what she was doing and what so many of our clients do is they go into posterior pelvic rotation, and that's what overloads the knee. And that's what also creates a lot of low back pain. So we were able to help a lot of clients with a simple little adjustment, just changing. And she's like, oh yeah, I feel no knee pain now. I feel it completely in my posterior hip complex and my glutes. I can feel that I have now control on that side. And that's what this program is about. It's not changing the paradigm 100%. We'll change some paradigms about things like keeping the knees behind the toes.
Right.
We'll change the paradigm of the problem or the supposed problem, the myth of the anterior pelvic tilt position. So we'll change the paradigm somewhat, but we'll show you how to make simple adjustments. And when you just watch the bonus material that you'll receive when you invest in this program, you're going to be able to take this information as soon as you watch it. There's small video clips, and you'll tell them about the program just here in a moment. You'll take this small information, these small changes that you can create. We watch these 3 to 8 minute videos and implement that information into your workouts as soon as you watch it, and you can make dramatic changes in how your clients feel, how they move, and ultimately how they get back to those activities that they need to, want to, and ultimately love to do.
So Evan, a bunch of people have jumped on, so let's just make sure we're not missing anybody's questions here. Question is, what if the kneecap is turning in but there's no pain? Is that just genetics?
Yeah, great question. We always hear things about genetics. That's just how my knees are. My mom had knees that look like this. I have knees that look like this. I don't have any pain. Here's the thing. Your femur and tibia should be aligned. So the thigh bone, the shin bone should be aligned. If you see the kneecap facing in, absolutely. You could have hips that are rotated anteriorly. That's just your genetic predisposition. That's how your hip joints are formed. So look at both their knees. Because yes, people can have hip joints that are different on each side. However, the majority of our clients have pretty symmetrical hips for the most part. You can have one kneecap that's facing in. It's more important not to look at where the kneecap is necessarily, but where the foot is in relationship to the kneecap. Because if the kneecap is going in and the foot is turned out, or the kneecap is straight and the foot is turned out, that's a problem for your knee. The quickest and easiest way to degenerate your meniscus, the cartilage, and place strain on the ACL and the collateral ligaments of the knee, the ligaments on the inside and outside of your knee, is to take your femur and turn it in so the kneecap is facing in and the tibia is relatively externally rotated. I cover exactly what to look for to assess that in your clients and the things that you need to do to actually improve this alignment. Very quick, easy thing you want to do with your clients as you train them. Wherever the thigh and kneecap are pointing, your foot should be pointing the exact same direction. Now, if your kneecap and thigh are pointing in and your foot's pointing in, you're probably not in the right alignment. What you want to do is have them just externally rotate their entire leg out just slightly. What most people are doing when they have an internal femoral rotation and external tibial rotation is they're just rotating their tibia. They're not rotating the femur. So, or they'll move their whole entire pelvis so their kneecap faces straight, but they're actually not changing the alignment between the femur and the tibia. And one more thing just about this point, again, thank you for your question, is when we share this information at the workshops and the certifications that we teach, the Integrative Corrective Exercise Instructor Program, as well as the Integrative Movement Specialist Program, people say to us, oh, you're just teaching us physical therapy. No, we're not teaching you physical therapy. That's like saying, hey, when you change somebody's squat position because you don't like how they're squatting, or they're not loading their hips up properly, or they're overloading their knees because of how they're squatting, you're doing physical therapy. No, you're helping improve alignment and control. So your client can take stress off the areas they don't want it and put it on the areas where they do want it. It's the same idea here. All you're trying to do is help your client align their knee in the best position possible, align the knee with the ankle and foot complex in the best position possible, so you give them the strategy to load their leg the way it's designed to load and not continue to increase the stress and strain upon the knee and or ankle and foot complex. I hope that helps answer your question and gives you some insight as to what to look for. And like I said, as part of one of the quick action bonuses, you get 5 simple, easy assessments where we look at that exact question and situation, where's the kneecap facing in your clients, and how to assess, is it the right alignment for them? Is it their more genetic alignment, or is it a compensated position that they've created because of some kind of issue around the hip, around the ankle or foot complex?
So we have one other question here, Evan, and that is, if there is pain in the knee, should you just try to work through it, or thinking it will work itself out later like a stiff joint?
Yeah, great question, because so many of our clients say, yeah, it just hurts my knee a little bit when I do that, but I'll just work through it. That's not a great strategy. And we know that when you try to work through pain, because what happens in our industry, what's happening in our industry, and this is sort of leading to a lot of non-optimal strategies and issues for our clients, is if you just think differently about pain, if you just work through it, if you just progress your clients slowly, quickly enough, or if you develop enough patterns to work around the pain, that somehow miraculously your body will figure it out and the pain will go away. Your mother, the story you shared about your mother is an exact example of what trying to work through pain, what happens to clients. They just go down, they start here, and they just go down quickly, rapidly down a bad path. Your godson, Addison, same thing. What is he gonna try to work through his ankle and foot pain and continue to drive his foot even further, drive his knee even further into internal rotation? So yes, there's situations that may be uncomfortable, certain situations. However, when your client has pain, you have to assess your client. Where is the pain coming from? How are they aligning and controlling the lower extremity? Because some clients will have degenerative changes underneath the kneecap. So that they have that chondromalacia patella, which is basically just degeneration of the cartilage underneath the kneecap. Some clients will have meniscus issues that create pain. So the cool thing about this program, and you'll tell them about it right now, is we share with you strategies. Here's what you do if your client currently has pain. Here's how you start to train them to improve alignment of the lower extremity, the femur and the tibia, and the ankle foot complex. Here are the patterns that allow your client to get the benefits of lower extremity training without putting additional stress upon their knee if they're currently having knee problems. And make sure if your client is having knee problems, and I'll turn it over to you, make sure that they've been evaluated by a health and medical professional, just to ensure that they're okay to work out and that you're not dealing with a meniscus issue, a chondral defect, or something more serious that may need more medical intervention.
So all this is leading up to the big release of the new product today that Evan's put together, which is complete knee, ankle, and foot conditioning 2.0. And it's 2.0 because he did create previous products around this topic, but now he's put them all together, the best information from all those put together, kind of like his greatest hits. And along with that, he's also created these amazing bonuses that go and will help make this program so much better for you. And the bonuses alone are well worth, I think one of the PDFs you created is 80 pages long. So that's actually going to be your quick start guide here. So the quick start guide actually takes you through the what, the why, the how of everything he's going to talk about in the program, why, so you can better explain it to your clients, so you can better understand it yourself. And the reality is while videos are great, some of us just need to hold on to something and actually read it or read it online. So it's a easy PDF download. It's going to take you through, and it's actually called the Quick Start Guide. Unlike when you get your Apple phone and it's like 2 seconds, 2 little tiny pages, this one is actually going to be a full-size read for you to actually utilize so that you can better understand, better learn what it is that you're going to be doing with your clients. So you get the Quick Start Guide, that's one of them, and then you also get the program design template that goes along with it, and you're actually going to get that 5 days after the program. We're being very strategic in this because we actually want you to learn the information first before you go and design just look at the program like I'm just going to go through and do the program. We're all guilty of just wanting to read the end of the book and know what happens
That's right.
before we actually read what the whole story is all about. So we're going to a little bit of a holding off on that just to give you some time to really get in there. And if you're one of the first 100 people that joins this program or takes advantage of the special offer that we're giving you this weekend, you actually can jump on with Evan in a few weeks on a live webinar so you can ask your questions again, but we want you to really utilize the information, get in there, watch it, read it, use it with your clients, use it on yourself, which is even most important so you can best understand how it works in your body. And then you can jump on the webinar with Evan and say, hey Evan, I was trying some of this stuff with my clients. What is your suggestion for this? Here's the key point though. Recently we did one of these webinars after we did the Shoulder 2.0 release, and people wanted to come on and ask some specific questions about themselves. And the reality is Evan hasn't evaluated you. He doesn't have the answers for you. But if you have case studies that you want some advice and some guidance on, and he's going to give you some more information as well on how to utilize what you're learning. But the reality is you're going to come on there, you're going to learn a little bit more, and it's going to make that much more sense. We all know that when we start learning something, we get to hear it again that second time, just makes that much more sense, and you'll be able to go back and implement even more. But you'll also be able to ask your questions of maybe the areas you're getting stuck or you need a little bit more elaboration on or something like that. He's able to give you that guidance on that webinar as well. So you get 6 modules of how does the body work. So you have anatomy, biomechanics, motor control, all those kind of great stuff. You'll understand why you're going to do certain corrective exercises, and then each module is broken down into small snippets of the corrective exercises and the assessments you're going to use. And then you also get your quick start guide, you get the program design template 5 days later, but you also get the 7 exercises to avoid or significantly modify because they're actually contributing to what is happening with your client. You're also going to get the 7 key corrective exercises and the 7 principles you need to know when it comes to optimal strategies you're using with your clients for best and most improvement with them.
And we've created these bonuses really so that you could get started with a program. Because when you think about 6 hours of modules or 6 hours of information around the knee, ankle, and foot complex, which is pretty intense information, because it's really a complete program, which is why we call it Complete Knee and Ankle and Foot Conditioning 2.0, is it's sometimes overwhelming to know where to start. So we created this quick start package. So you get the 7 principles that guide optimal and efficient function of the knee and ankle and foot complex. Short little videos, 7 short little videos, 3 to maybe 9 minutes at the longest. So that way you can watch the 7 principles very quickly and easily and understand how the knee and ankle and foot complex work with the entire body, the thoracolpelvic cylinder, the core of the body. And then we'll take you through the 7 key corrective exercises, the 5 assessments that we'll do, as well as the 7 key corrective exercises based upon the assessments that you've done with your clients. And then, as you mentioned, just as it's important to know what to do with your client, sometimes it's more important to know what not to do, what strategies, exercises, and or cues that we've all learned. For example, putting the knees behind the toes, keeping the knees behind the toes. Because there was a research study that looked at keeping the knees behind the toes, and the research study showed that, yes, keeping the knees behind the toes decreased stress upon the toes, or on the knees, I should say. Keeping the knees behind the toes decreases stress upon the knees. However, you have to keep reading that research study, because what else does a research study say? Yes, it keeps pressure off the knees, but then it places it upon the low back and hip complex. And when you think about your clients that have knee problems, like your mother, like your godson even, like our clients and patients that come and see us as health and fitness professionals, most of them that have knee problems also have back problems. So if you're taking stress off the knees, which sometimes you have to do, and place it on the back, are you actually just creating a brand new problem and or perpetuating a brand new problem? So we share with you why this information is important, and then more importantly, how you use these strategies to then create the more optimal alignment and control for your clients, whether they have knee issues, whether they have ankle and foot issues. So once your client has been cleared by their health and medical professional to exercise, you're in the best position to help them accomplish their health and fitness goals and really establish more optimal function through their knees and ankle and foot complex, which is really why we put this program together, because we had personal experience with this issue. We see tons of clients and patients that have this issue, and I'm sure you work, besides the shoulder and probably the back, the knee is the next most common issue that you're going to see with your clients and these individuals that need a resource, an expert just like you, to help them accomplish, safely and effectively accomplish their health and fitness goals.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up. So over the weekend, we're gonna be having this very special offer for you. This weekend only, because it's our special release. This whole product with all the bonuses available for $97. The Fast Action Takers, the first 100, actually get to get on that webinar with Evan in a few weeks after you've had some time to work with the program itself. And then this will expire on Sunday evening, so make sure if you've been watching this, you know that we've been talking about some really great information that's available to you now. And I'm just gonna give you a little insight into Evan because I get to be his wife. And so he was last night, he's making the final things on this, on the product put together. We're writing all the last little details for it. And he said, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. There's nothing else out there like this. And I can't do it like he was doing it, obviously, but he was super excited about releasing this information. He spent a lot of time putting this together for you because, like he said, it's the people he works with every day. It's the people that fitness professionals tell us they're working with. And because there's so many people out there that need this information, that we need to get it out there to more and more people like yourself who can really share it with their clients and really start to utilize this and start to make the changes that your clients really are looking for and really, really need.
So we're releasing the product 12 o'clock? Is that?
Nope, actually the people who are on this, they actually have the first link available to them because the product is ready to go already. So if you click on the link that we put here in the post, you'll be one of those first few people to actually get this brand new product.
Awesome. So again, thank you for being on this call with us, Facebook Live with us. Thanks for all you do for your clients and your potential clients that need and want your expertise. Make sure that when you invest in this program, start with a quick start guide. Read through that first. It's a very quick, easy read. So even though it's 80 pages, it's a very quick, easy read. Work strategically through the bonuses in order. Bonus number 1, then 2, then 3, before you go into the modules. So that way you have the framework, the foundation for all the information we'll share with you in the modules. It will make a lot of sense to you, and you'll be able to apply the information right away with your clients.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great day.
Take care. We'll see you inside the program.